Jesse Reed Studio presents The Dave August Show. This episode filmed on location at Kirby Shoestring Saloon and Sports Bar, Fremont, California. Exclusively for Kwin Radio. Jesse Reed Studios and Kwin Radio, America's hit music station, presents The Dave August Show. Today's episode has been filmed on location at Kirby Shoestring Saloon and Sports Bar, Fremont, California. With special guest star, owner and operator, Rick Rodriguez.
Please welcome to center stage, Dave August.
We're here at Kwin Radio, real talk with Dave, sports, health, and anything else.
The Olympics, baseball, basketball, and golf. Join him on his take on life and sports. The Raider Nation
Super Bowl,
Sports Hall of Fame.
So join me on sports and life. Gonna be a hell of a ride.
It's Real Talk with Dave August on Kwin Radio.
We're at Kwin Radio, and our show today is with Rick at Kirby's Sports Bar.
What's up, Dave? How you doing?
Man, we're doing good. We're just, hanging and just doing what we do, Just wanted to talk about a little about what you do here at the sports bar, and what do you do? What kind of stuff, sports fundraisers do you do here? And I see you got your alcohol here that you're branding, and give us a little light of what you guys, what you participate in here.
Well, the first things first, we changed the name to Shoestring Saloon, which was the original name when it opened back in '61. We did it in honor of the original owners to create some nostalgia, coming out of the whole COVID thing. That was a trek, as it was for everybody else in the industry and around the world, basically. But before the whole COVID pandemic thing happened, Chuck and I had gotten involved in more than a few nonprofits that we were dealing with. One of yours is yours, of course, the NFL Alumni for Children. We were blessed to be able to be a part of that in 2019 when Constellation Brands invited us to come out to the first tournament.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a great tournament.
Yeah, I remember it barely too, because I'm sure you hated me at the end.
That's all right.
But damn it, I wanted that golf bag. But we, some of the other people that we work with, Make-A-Wish Foundation, League of Volunteers, American Cancer Society, we've tried to pick that up from where we left off, and even with limited resources, being that we were blessed to be able to be able to open where a lot of businesses did, we wanted to make sure that we didn't lose the foundation that we had created, because the one thing Chuck has always been, and I can't say that I'm not far from it, but it's all about community. This area in Fremont, Chuck's been a part of since he moved out here, which I believe was in 85, 87, somewhere around there. And this has been his baby. And, I'm not going to try to fall far from it. He purchased the bar back in 2010. Something that he always wanted to do. He worked across the street from here at another place called Romer's since he was 21 years old. So this intersection has been pretty much his for the past 30 plus years. I was fortunate to be able to come in 2019. There was an opportunity, and I was ready to get out of the tech industry. Got sick of being judged by a bunch of 24-year-old HR kids that were, looking at me from a digital standpoint, not from my resume, and so it was a blessing, and so we try to pay that forward wherever we get, while at the same time trying to maintain the dive bar mentality, the true sports bar mentality of having every game on all the time, having the sporting events that are key at that moment. If somebody calls in the middle of the day and they want a certain soccer game, we want to be able to make sure that we can provide it, while at the same time being able to put all the other stuff on. And, during football season, of course, is when it's the biggest, because we can provide every single game and every single event. And we try to blend some stuff into it with our golf tournaments and chili cook-offs and the different, different levels of events, parties and stuff. We've really lately embraced the dart culture. It seems to really be taking off, not just out here, but throughout the United States. So we are, positioning ourselves with that, and we've done very well. We do a lot of leagues and tournaments, and we have a great infrastructure of people from our operator, Gary. He's put a lot of time and effort into helping us create and build that out, and, we're enjoying it.
Tell us a little bit about what you do with the cancer thing you do here. I know with your girl, you and her do a walk thing with cancer.
Well,
Tell
we
us
do
a little bit about that, and how you got involved in that, and just the great things about it, and how much money you guys have raised.
We do a couple of things a year. The first one is the Relay for Life.
Yeah.
That has kind of morphed over the years. It was originally done. We partnered up with the city of Newark and the League of Volunteers over there, and started doing it. And when Chuck and I saw the impact that it had, we felt compelled. Chuck lost his mother to cancer, and I don't know how many years ago. It's been a few years, so he's always been very passionate about it. And the other event that we take part in is down in San Diego. It's the Susan Komen 3-day walk. And that's something that Lori, who you're talking about, was passionate about because her mother was a cancer survivor. Now her mother, God bless her, since has passed, but we both do the walk. It requires a lot more from you physically, because it's, you're walking 3 days, 20 plus miles each day.
Yeah.
And so it's a much more of a physical endurance, where the Relay for Life, though you have the opportunity to raise as much money, doesn't impact you personally so much. It's a 24-hour walk, but you don't have to constantly be walking all the time. You have a team of people that come out with you, and the team, as long as somebody on the team is constantly walking, then you're being represented. And so those are the two that we really follow more than anything. The Relay for Life is one that we are all as a group here involved with, and we enjoy it. We enjoy the opportunity to be able to do the different things to fundraise and to build the team environment to allow everybody to come out. Everybody gets involved. We get all kinds of stuff to auction. We raise money while we're there with if we're serving food or anything of that case. So
let me just ask you this. Let's talk a little about just how you went from a tech company into the bar industry. The bar industry is a tough business. You got to watch everybody, your bartenders pouring drinks, over pouring. Everybody wants to have fun. So how did you just go, well, I'm going to be, own a bar and just do this?
Well, I think that anybody that frequents places as much as I did, being in the tech industry and being in sales and being an outside salesperson.
I'm all about sales. You got to smooth those customers.
Yeah, well, I had the opportunity to spend a lot of time around the United States, and around the United States, you get to see a lot of different levels of bars. Anything from the diviest of the dive, all the way through the most high class, prestigious bars that you can be in. And I've always been a dive bar person. I like the dive bar environment. It's not as pretentious to me. It doesn't, your anonymity is protected a lot better. Because people within that environment, they really aren't interested in who you are, what you're doing. They're interested on the day-to-day, the day-to-day that's going on. And there's two places that's specific that I frequented quite a bit when I was in different cities. I used to go to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania on a regular basis, and this little place called McGrath's Pub, Irish pub, had full Irish menu.
The great singer, Mark McGrath.
Well,
He was
He had-
Sugar Ray.
he had nothing to do with that. This was owned by my buddy Tommy Scott, and I spent so many times up there, and the way he managed and the way he handled his employees and his bartenders, treated the customers and all, and how they worked was an environment that I really kind of embraced, And then there was another place, a little super dive in it's a area in East Boston called Maverick Square.
Okay.
And there's a little place called Eddie C's, and it's as super dive as dive you can be. But the first time we walked in there, the owner Eddie and some of his boys were sitting at the end of the bar, and they were just talking like it was like they were from the show Cheers. I mean, they were sitting at the end of the bar, and the guys looking at the newspaper going, "Can you believe so-and-so did this?" And then they would just, "Hey, Paulie, are you kidding me? You did that yesterday." He goes, "Yeah, but I didn't do it in the papers." I mean, and they would just sit there cutting each other up. And I'm at the end of the bar, at the other end of the bar, and I'm just in tears about, how these guys are just interacting and having such an amazing time together. And so it's these areas that I wanted to be able to bring into my own environment.
We're going to take a break with Kwin Radio. This is Real Talk with Dave, Sports, Health, Anything Else, with Kirby's Bar and Rick, and we'll be back in 5.
You're listening to Real Talk with Dave August on Kwin Radio. Dave and friends will be right back after these messages.
Hey, what's up, Doc? Don't go away, folks. Ooh, wait a minute. That was the wabbit.
Kirby Shoestring Saloon.
Sports.
Darts.
Sports.
Food.
Sports.
Beer.
Sports.
Liquor.
Where you get the best wings in town and 20 beers on tap.
42312 Fremont Boulevard in Fremont, California.
Your number one online radio station.
It's Kwin Radio, baby.
I wake up with you guys, I spend my day with you guys, and I go to bed with you guys. You guys are the best.
Number one for classic hits.
Nobody else compares.
Commercials off, music on.
I listen to y'all at work. I listen to you in my car. Because you don't have to hear the DJs talk.
It's your private radio station. Find it today at kwinradio.com. Straw Hat Pizza, Industrial Parkway. From sports events to the arcade room, we're geared for fun. Straw Hat Pizza offers only the freshest ingredients in all our gourmet pizza deals. We invite you to join our Wine Up Wednesday nights from 4 to 8 p.m. for complimentary wine tasting, featuring local and Napa Valley wineries. Sonia's Straw Hat Pizza, Industrial Parkway, Hayward.
Are you ready?
Broadcasting from the biggest little city in the world, the city by the bay, and from the NFL Alumni NorCal. This is Kwin Radio Sports. Dave August is the Executive Director of Marketing for the NFL Alumni NorCal National Football League, and your host of the Dave August Show. Kirby Shoestring Saloon and Sports Bar is proud sponsors of the NFL Alumni NorCal's Caring for Kids program, the National Football League, Kwin Radio, and the Dave August Show. Any reproduction of the Dave August Show is strictly prohibited without the express written permission of Jesse Reed Studios and Kwin Radio.
Please welcome to center stage, Dave August.
We're here at Kwin Radio, Real Talk with Dave, Sports, Health, and Anything Else.
The Olympics, baseball, basketball, and golf. Join him on his take on life and sports. The Raider Nation
Super Bowl.
Sports Hall of Fame.
So join me on Sports and Life. gonna be a hell of a ride.
It's Real Talk with Dave August on Kwin Radio.
We're back at Kwin Radio with the Real Talk Dave, sports, health, and anything else. Tell us a little bit about the dart league you got going here. I know last week you had like 60 people in here packed. You know, I mean, I've come in here and you got dart league going, things are going, chaotic and just great atmosphere. You know, people are having fun. Talk about your new adventure that you're taking off to do, to bring to the bar. That we were talking about it before we got on, on the air with the radio. I was like, man, I never heard of that concept. That's just something that sounds really cool. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, like I said earlier, we're embracing the dart culture.
Okay.
In golf, you've got Top Golf.
Yeah,
you know, and so we want to look to bring something of that nature in a dart environment perspective to the Bay Area. Now, I don't want to go into details about it because I don't want to give away what we're doing, but we, ever since COVID and a couple of places out here shut down, I immediately wanted to become the place that, these guys had to be able to go play darts. So we embrace the leagues. Every Friday night we do a tournament. We add a little bit to it to kind of incentivize people to come. And it's done really well. I mean, our Friday nights here are slammed, and it's all, guys that are here to, enjoy themselves, and they stay all night. And they come from Sacramento, and they come from Modesto, and because the community is so tight-knit with each other that, they interact during the week. So our consistency with that tournament has really brought forward a lot of new inviting people. At the same time, is allowing us to be able to move forward in different areas. And so it's gonna, like I said, I don't want to give away the GOAT, but it's going to take a little bit of time. And by our next interview, maybe we'll have a lot more information to drive that.
I mean, I think, just listening to all the stuff you do here, and there's so many things different you do here that intrigue me. And the other one that intrigues me because of my relationship and who I work for, the NFL Alumni NorCal, you're big into the sports stuff. And I understand now that the Raiders are not here, during Sundays at the games, you guys put up canopies out here and have this like tailgate out in the parking lot. Tell me about that. That must be phenomenal. All the people coming together sort of brings back some old memories, like at the Coliseum and just having fun and hanging out with your buddies. Tell me about that stuff.
Well, and that's, again, that's another thing about the inner culture here, the legacy of this place here. A lot of the guys that come here were core and key in the Raider tailgates out there. So with them moving to Las Vegas, I didn't want to lose that impact. When the Raiders were on the road, those guys all came here and they watched the games here and they spent their Sundays here. So if the Raiders are going to be at home in Las Vegas, why should we stop? If they're going to follow them, I can think of probably 6 or 8 guys here that have PSLs for the Las Vegas stadium.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's what they should do. But while they're, if they're not going to go to a game,
cheers to that and do a drink to that.
But that's the loyalty of the fan that was coming here. Don't get me wrong. We have our series of Niner fans that come as well, and we embrace them. Chuck, as you know, is a big Cowboys fan.
Oh, we got to get him on here in a minute. He's gonna be the next one. He's our next victim
of circumstance.
Yeah.
So we embrace all the NFL teams here, and that's one of the reasons why, even though I wanted to kind of rear back a little bit on the number of units that we had, Chuck said no, because we need to offer all the games all the times to anybody that comes in.
Yeah.
And so, if you are a Steelers fan, you can come here. If you're a Falcons fan, you can come here. If you're a Rams fan, you can come here. We'll have the games on. Now, on the main sound, in almost every case, it'll either be the Raiders, the Niners, or the Cowboys. But if none of those games are on, then we'll pick the game that the core of people are here. If they're here to see the Minnesota Vikings, bam, we'll set that up.
Well, what I've learned in just being in the football industry, being with the NFL alumni 20-some years now, And watching, I'm a big Raider fan. That's I live and breathe the Raiders. I worked for the Raiders for 4 years before I went to work for the NFL, and I'm a Raider fan. But what I learned with the NFL alumni is that we don't realize how many players live around here that played for the Steelers, played for the Seattle Seahawks, played for the Green Bay Packers. A lot of guys came through here when they played, either with the Niners or Raiders, or came and played the Raiders and Niners and ended up loving the Bay Area and being here.
Right.
So there's just so many football fans nationwide of all teams. You got to represent all teams.
Right.
And you just got to
if you think back in the day, Jerry Rice used to live up in the Fremont Hills, and so that's why Mission Peak, the trail for Mission Peak is up there, because that was his old workout facility. A lot of the coaches used to hang out at one of the local restaurants, Spin and Yarn, back in the day. So there's a lot of legacy of the NFL and the coaches and the players and all just in this general area. Now, as the area has grown up and things have moved on, and the more expensive area is on the other side of the bay, everybody's kind of moved out. And that's fine. That's going to come with the times. It's nothing's going to last forever, but at the same time, doesn't mean that we need to tone it down ourselves. We pride ourselves on being a dive bar. We pride ourselves on being a sports facility that you can come and you can catch anything. The UFC fights, whenever they're on, we have them every week. The one thing we really haven't kind of embraced yet is getting back into boxing, but we're starting to look at it from a different angle. The big thing that we have to deal with more than anything right now is everything's going to a streaming service. So nothing's being unified anymore. You can't just go to DirecTV and say, hey, I'm going to get this package. And
don't
it's
work
a streaming
like
service. You have to have a smart TV, and everything is kind of in flux. So, we'll see in the next couple of years. Sunday Ticket may not even exist. All the streaming services are going to pick up. Amazon's doing their thing, and CBS has their thing, and ESPN has got theirs, and so you're going to have to get all these streaming services in order to be able to be that effective. So we're starting to prepare for that. We're kind of looking at how is it going to how we can optimize the opportunity and what's going to make sense.
Let's talk about your menu here, man, because I know your menu is like, it's small, simple, but when you have football, you got to have food.
Yeah.
So you got to talk about, the chicken wings and the jalapeno poppers, and, which are my favorite. Every time I come here, I got to have chicken wings or jalapeno poppers. So talk about your menu, the tater tots. That's something you never see at restaurants or little bars. Is tater tots. Those are always the best. Simple. Throw them out with some ketchup. Good food to get in you when you're drinking.
Well, what's unfortunate about me, besides having the palate of a 3-year-old, is that I'm a fat ass, and I gotta have all that fatty type food. Now, we are somewhat restricted in our kitchen, but it doesn't stop us. We are probably one of the only places in the East Bay that you can find a good po' boy sandwich. Yeah. And we do fish, shrimp, and chicken. And the way we set it up, Chuck is a huge foodie. So whenever he wants to create something, he wants to go a certain direction with it. And I stand out of his way because, man, I don't like a lot of stuff. And it's unfortunate because it's going to come back to haunt me. But it doesn't matter. It's a lot of the stuff that we carry here. So things like tater tots and corn dogs and mini corn dogs and chicken tenders and all that we can do easily, we've got on the menu. But then we also created the po' boy sandwiches over COVID because we had to have something that was considered a bona fide meal, and they took off and they've done great. And everybody loves them, and we are building out from that side as well. At some point we would like to go to a broader menu and create some different things, but right now we'll take the stuff that we have and we'll build into it and continue to migrate and morph it, and create new menu items. We got pizzas, we can turn in 3 minutes, so
we'll have to come next time we're out here in the radio. Kwin's out here again. doing the Real Talk with Dave, Sports Talk, and anything else. We'll have to do a little poor boy, how you guys make it, a tasting thing, and we'll have to hook it up, have Jesse try it, our producer here, and see what he thinks about it.
Oh, he looks like he'll be able to eat anything. So
we'll have to check that out.
Yeah. No, I mean, whenever the wings, we actually make this garlic palmero.
Okay.
It was a flavor that was created before my time, but people come in specifically asking for them. We'll get a call from Tesla and they'll want 8-10 dozen of them.
Really?
And and they're hot, they're spicy, they're good. But that's one of the things that we kind of really hone ourselves in is to try and find those one-offs that nobody else has, and kind of develop something around that.
We're going to take a break with Kwin Radio. This is Real Talk with Dave, Sports, Health, anything else, with Kirby's Bar and Rick, and we'll be back in 5.
You're listening to Real Talk with Dave August on Kwin Radio. Dave and friends will be right back after these messages.
What's up, Doc? Don't go away, folks. Ooh, wait a minute. That was the wabbit.
Your number one online radio station.
It's Kwin Radio, baby.
I wake up with you guys, I spend my day with you guys, and I go to bed with you guys. You guys are the best.
Number one for classic hits.
Nobody else compares.
Commercials off, music on.
I listen to y'all at work. I listen to you in my car. Because you don't have to hear the DJs talk.
It's your private radio station. Find it today at kwinradio.com. Straw Hat Pizza, Industrial Parkway. From sports events to the arcade room, we're geared for fun. Straw Hat Pizza offers only the freshest ingredients in all our gourmet pizza deals. We invite you to join our Wine Up Wednesday nights from 4 to 8 p.m. for complimentary wine tasting, featuring local and Napa Valley wineries. Sonia's Straw Hat Pizza, Industrial Parkway, Hayward.
Kirby Shoestring Saloon.
Sports.
Darts.
Sports.
Food.
Sports.
Beer.
Sports.
Liquor.
Where you get the best wings in town and 20 beers on tap.
42312 Fremont Boulevard in Fremont, California.
Are you ready?
Broadcasting from the biggest little city in the world, the city by the bay, and from the NFL Alumni NorCal. This is Kwin Radio Sports. Dave August is the Executive Director of Marketing for the NFL Alumni NorCal National Football League, and your host of the Dave August Show. Kirby Shoestring Saloon and Sports Bar is proud sponsors of the NFL Alumni NorCal's Caring for Kids program, the National Football League, Kwin Radio, and the Dave August Show. Any reproduction of the Dave August Show is strictly prohibited without the express written permission of Jesse Reed Studios and Kwin Radio.
Please welcome to center stage, Dave August.
We're here at Kwin Radio, Real Talk with Dave, Sports, Health, and anything else.
The Olympics, baseball, basketball, and golf. Join him on his take on life and sports. The Raider Nation
Super Bowl.
Sports Hall of Fame.
So join me on sports and life. It's gonna be a hell of a ride.
It's Real Talk with Dave August on Kwin Radio.
We're back at Kwin Radio with the Real Talk Dave, Sports, Health, and anything else. Let's talk a little bit about something that really intrigues me with you. Is how did you come up to create your own Kirby's alcohol? You got vodka and whiskey. How did you come up to create that?
Well, we actually had a third-party distiller that presented us an opportunity to brand our own stuff. So Chuck and I sat down, we drank, I don't know, well, I say we drank, we sampled 3 or 4 different vodka and whiskey, not flavors, but levels, so that we could, kind of decide on at what level we wanted to be able to, put our name on it. And we found, and it wasn't just us. We actually had some patrons that were with us that normally drink, the vodkas and the whiskeys, and we asked them, their opinion and what they thought. And after that, we decided to, we move forward. They offered us the opportunity to put our own logo on the bottle, and we did it. So we feel it's a great investment. That it really kind of sets us aside, apart. And so, as you can see on the bottle, we put Chuck's dad on this because he likes to use the term "well" whenever he says something. He says "well," so we call it Papa Gannum's Well Whiskey. And then my little dog Boogie, we put it on his Rough Life vodka.
That's some cool stuff, be able to have your own alcohol and in a bar business and brand it.
It's fun.
That's some fun
it's
stuff.
fun, and
We're
again, it separates.
We're gonna have to try a shot of that stuff before we get off the air here.
I don't think that's gonna be a problem.
So we'll have to do a little toast to that. But step into your vision, and I want to step into this your vision of football season this year, with so much free agency, so many players being moved around. Let's talk about where you see the Niners are going to be and the Raiders are going to be. Where do you see with the moves they're making, especially with the Raiders with their new coaching staff? You get them getting Devontae Adams from Green Bay. Does that give Carr more ammunition? We know we got to have a line for him. So let's talk about that. And about, what your Patriots, when they come in here, what they're talking about with football season, the draft coming up and all that stuff.
Well, I think first and foremost, I want to talk about how cool it is to have this Heisman Trophy sitting right here in front of us. You get to see him behind glass, and you get to see him when the guys get him on that magic day, but you don't really never get to.
No, you don't get to see that in person.
Especially the older ones. That's really super amazing.
Yeah.
The football season itself, wow. I mean, it's such in flux right now, especially where the Raiders and the Niners are concerned. I mean, I'm hearing rumors about Deebo Samuels, and and by the time this airs, we probably will know a whole lot more.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the core takeaway is with Devontae Adams coming over, the Raiders need to get that offensive line. They need to really build it up, because what good is somebody like Devontae if he can't get down the field?
Well, we know, and in football, playing football through our high school years, and Pee-wee and all that stuff. We know that Joe Montana, Brett Favre, Steve Young, them quarterbacks were only as good as their offensive line.
Yeah. Troy Aikman.
You cannot tell me them guys, if they had a shitty offensive line and didn't have their receivers, they wouldn't have put the numbers up they had.
Not even close.
Especially today. Not even, you're looking at what it was then to compare today. These guys are coming off the line at 450 pounds, 350, and they're running 4.4s.
Right.
You got a 3-back drop, you better have a quick release.
Right.
Or your ass, your butt's grass.
Right.
So,
and you got somebody like a Devontae Adams who is a deep threat.
Yeah.
You want him to get down the field.
Yeah.
And if he can get down the field and you get the time to be able to throw to him, then you're going to have a lot more success on scoring and first downs and everything of that nature. You're not going to be handcuffed to just going to your tight ends, and that's the key. And then if in some crazy way the whole Deebo Samuels thing happens, which I don't know how. I don't think the Niners would ever give him up.
Yeah, no.
They give up Garoppolo before they give him up.
That does not happen.
But I mean, he can make magic, but he's got to have blockers.
Yeah.
And you look at Zeke and for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on the struggle bus because the line is terrible.
Hold up for him. He's running around for his life.
Yeah. And so if he can't get started, then he's finished.
And tell me this: what's your opinion on the moves Mark Davis made and the coaching staff he has brought in? Give me a little bit about what you think as a fan and what you would want, what you'd want to see from the Raiders. That they've put all this money on the table, brought this new coaching staff in, made moves. Because you go to Vegas and watch them every couple games during the season. Tell me what you would want out of a fan, or what you would expect to see them doing.
Well, I don't. I mean, that's a tough one. He was forced into a corner. I mean, the whole thing that happened with Gruden. He was forced to have to make some decisions. His dad was always notorious for, running the team from the background, not unlike, Jerry Jones, just, a micromanager. It looks to me like Mark is kind of opening things up, allowing people to do it for him versus, trying to micromanage things. I think he probably learned that from bringing on Gruden. Because Gruden, was like, it's either my way or the highway. I think that I think he's allowing people to work for him. At the end of the day, if they don't perform, then they're going to be out. If, they make the things happen that they see that can happen and do it, he's got an open checkbook. I mean, that's what it looks like to me.
Do you think he's doing the one and done and wanting to just try to roll all dice and see if he can win the Super Bowl this year?
I don't know, is he trying to do it for this year? I think he's, it looks like it's a multi-year plan. I think if it was just this year, Derek. David Carr's long. Derek would be gone. He would have brought somebody else in or looked for somebody, more tenured. But I think by them keeping Derek and allowing him, and Derek stepping up and restructuring his contract so that they could make the moves that they need to do, I think both Derek and Mark are looking at it as a strategic, longer-term process. Now, would they like it to happen in 1 year? Sure. Is it going to happen? Next season we'll see. I think the uniformity in the NFL is going to be much better. I hope that the Raiders are going to be in a much better position. I don't think that Garoppolo is going to stay the starting quarterback for the Niners. I think they're going to move in this Travis kid relatively quickly. But I'm not a coach and I'm not an NFL insider, and I don't know. So I will sit here and I will enjoy and watch the games, and then Monday morning quarterback the whole thing. Well, I'm drinking my beer.
We're going to take a break with Kwin Radio, Real Talk with Dave, sports, health, and anything else. We're going to come back on. We're going to talk a little bit about health and things that you do for people that come in the bar that are not healthy, and certain things you do with your nonprofits and stuff. So we'll jump back in. This is Real Talk with Dave, sports, health, anything else, with Kirby's Bar and Rick, and we'll be back in 5.
You're listening to Real Talk with Dave August on Kwin Radio. Dave and friends will be right back after these messages.
What's up, Doc? Don't go away, folks. Ooh, wait a minute. That was the wabbit.
Kirby Shoestring Saloon.
Sports.
Darts.
Sports.
Food.
Sports.
Beer.
Sports.
Liquor.
Where you get the best wings in town and 20 beers on tap.
42312 Fremont Boulevard in Fremont, California.
Your number one online radio station.
It's Kwin Radio, baby.
I wake up with you guys, I spend my day with you guys, and I go to bed with you guys. You guys are the best.
Number one for classic hits.
Nobody else compares.
Commercials off, music on.
I listen to y'all at work. I listen to you in my car. Because you don't have to hear the DJs talk.
It's your private radio station. Find it today at kwinradio.com. Straw Hat Pizza, Industrial Parkway. From sports events to the arcade room, we're geared for fun. Straw Hat Pizza offers only the freshest ingredients in all our gourmet pizza deals. We invite you to join our Wine Up Wednesday nights from 4 to 8 p.m. for complimentary wine tasting, featuring local and Napa Valley wineries. Sonia's Straw Hat Pizza, Industrial Parkway, Hayward.
Are you ready?
Broadcasting from the biggest little city in the world, the city by the bay, and from the NFL Alumni NorCal. This is Kwin Radio Sports. Dave August is the Executive Director of Marketing for the NFL Alumni NorCal National Football League, and your host of the Dave August Show. Kirby Shoestring Saloon and Sports Bar is proud sponsors of the NFL Alumni NorCal's Caring for Kids program, the National Football League, Kwin Radio, and the Dave August Show. Any reproduction of the Dave August Show is strictly prohibited without the express written permission of Jesse Reed Studios and Kwin Radio.
Please welcome to center stage, Dave August.
We're here at Kwin Radio, real talk with Dave, sports, health, and anything else.
The Olympics, baseball, basketball, and golf. Join him on his take on life and sports. The Raider Nation
Super Bowl,
Sports Hall of Fame.
So join me on sports and life. It's gonna be a hell of a ride.
It's Real Talk with Dave August on Kwin Radio.
We're back at Kwin Radio with the Real Talk Dave, sports, health, and anything else. Let's just jump into what we were talking about earlier about your whiskey, and I wanted to try it real quick and sample it and see what the kicker is here. And got to get these people buying this stuff, you know. That's we got to get them out here buying this Kirby.
Well, it's a kicker, all right.
Kirby whiskey over
I think
here.
you were just using it as an excuse to get a shot, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Always good to have you here, Dave. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. But let me just sip this a little bit. That whiskey though is really smooth. Smooth stuff, man. It really is.
Good.
I had the vodka, but I never drank the whiskey because I don't really drink whiskey. I'm not a whiskey drinker.
Right.
But it's actually smooth, man. It's actually really smooth.
Like I said, we went through 3 or 4 of them. And
smooth.
Kabir, who you're going to interview here in a little bit, he was a part of us picking that one.
I want to jump into real quickly. You know, our show here at Kwin Radio is about sport, health, and wealth. Sports, health, and anything else.
Right.
Real talk with Dave is sports, health, and anything else. So I want to just jump into the health part of what you do here at the bar as far as helping people. I know that people have passed away or people have been sick with cancer, and you guys have raised money. Let's talk about a little health part and what brought you into that. Was it any kind of health issues you had, or your girl, or anybody in your immediate family that said, I'm gonna do some stuff at the bar for people that are in crisis of health?
I mean, nowadays I don't think there's anybody out there that hasn't been touched by something catastrophic or that's really impacted them. At the end of the day, it's all about what you do with it. I'm the kind of person that looks at life as well. No matter how bad I have it, there's somebody out there that's got it a whole lot worse. So why do I need to sit around and mope over and try and you know, make it about me? Because it shouldn't be. You know, I have a great life. I live, you know, to be able to do the next thing and see the next day and have a great time. Now, that being said, there are some health choices that I should probably, you know, really start to consider being at the age that I'm at. And, you know, at the end of the day, nothing that we do here behind the bar is healthy. Outside of serving a gluten-free vodka or something, I mean, you know, most of it is, you know, is not. It's really more for the people and the customer, and giving you some place to relax and, you know, either enjoy or wind down or you know, go through your emotions without being bothered or being overwhelmed by, you know, too many people or too many things, you know. And that's what we really, you know, one of the things that we provide. You know, another thing we provide is a place where you can come and celebrate and enjoy and have a great time. And we do our fair share, unfortunately, of celebrations of life, you know, where, you know, that's one of the former patrons have passed away. As you've seen over in our little hallway, we've got our, you know, wall of patrons that have passed before us, you know, that anybody that is a regular here, their family is more than welcome to bring a picture or a collage of some sort and we'll put it up there, you know, and because we want to remember, you know, the people that have come through, and we want to be able to remember the stories and the things that they were a part of where this place is concerned. I mean, it's hard to think of in those terms, but this place has been here for 60 years. So, you know, I sit around sometimes and I think about, you know, God, 60 years ago, what was this intersection look like?
Yeah,
I mean, what, you know, I don't, the Fremont Boulevard, I think, honestly, there was no 101, there was Fremont Boulevard. And there was, you know, from Milpitas, there was Milpitas Boulevard that connected to Fremont Boulevard that went right on through. And so there was nothing out here. And I'm floored to think about, you know, what has transpired, how it's all come to pass, and now, you know, the area as it's been. And Chuck can probably talk a lot more to that.
Yeah, we'll jump on that. You know, it's funny, you know, when we started this thing, and Kwin Radio came to me because I was with the NFL and said, Dave, we want to do a show with you, and, you know, we think we got some names picked out for you. And I said, well, you know, I want to do something. It's not about me at the end of the day. It's about helping others, and that's why I wanted to do this so bad, is to be able to go out to different bars and friends of mine and help them promote their establishment for what they've done for me. And, you know, I want to thank you, Rick, from the bottom of my heart for all the things you've done for me, supporting the NFL, and just being a friend. And one thing I'll never forget, as I get teared up, is when my mom passed away, you were there. You know, you helped me, you brought beer, and I can't thank you enough. And I'll always be here for you in whatever you need and whatever I can do for you. You can count on me, man.
Well, I mean, you know, man, it's, you know, Dave, I mean, you've become a part of the fabric that is this place. And it's hard to think of a bar in that context, but that's really what Chuck has tried to build. And in doing that, you know, over the years, you know, he's had success. He's done that, you know, and the people have really, you know, I mean, I'm one of them. You know, we've known each other for 15, 20 years now. And, you know, and I'm one of them. When he bought this place, I was one of the guys that came in and stripped down the stools and refinished them. And I was working, I was traveling, I was going all over the place, you know. But when I'd come back, this was my home away from home. This is what I did, you know. This was, you know, on the West Coast, I had Kirby's, which is my second home. And then on the East Coast, I had McGrath's, which was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And those were the spots that I really flocked towards. And when the opportunity struck to be able to come in and have my own place, thank God I didn't know there was a pandemic coming.
Yeah.
But, you know, I wanted to be able to come in and create my own, you know, my own footprint on what I felt the environment should be, while at the same time maintaining the comfort, the family environment that had been created that was something that I wanted to be a part of as well. And it's worked out. And like I said, I don't get out and let my hair down very often. When I'm here at the bar, I try to really maintain myself because I don't want there to be a conversation that I had that I go, I don't remember that, and I mean, everything's got to be done on a work level. So the only time I really let my hair down is when I get out for an event like a golf tournament. And unfortunately, you were the recipient of that. And
that's okay.
And after it was all said and done, I mean, you handled it like a Viking. And then Chuck kept telling me, he goes, man, dude, whoever that David guy is, you owe him an apology because you would not shut up about that stupid golf bag that you had to have. And he's right, man. I was monitoring that damn silent auction like a hawk because I didn't want nobody to underbid me. And I was like, man, I'm taking that thing home.
That's all right. It all worked out.
And yet here we are today. And that's the kind of stuff that
we're here to talk about the story.
Right.
Talk about it. Talk about our friendship and what we've in the last couple of years have built and became friends. And that's why when I said when Kwin came to me, I wanted to do a show called Real Talk with Dave, Sports, and Anything Else. Mm-hmm. And health, because I figure those all three topics that we can touch on in different places that go do charity and go help people that have passed away or in the dire need that can't pay their rent because of their health, and now you're doing a fundraiser for them.
Right.
So I want to thank you again for everything you do in the community, and anything I can do, I'm going to get you guys an autograph, signed picture. You might want to throw darts at it. I don't know. But if you guys like to hang it up, I'll get it to you.
Definitely going to throw darts at it.
But thank you again for everything. We're here at Kwin Radio, Real Talk with Dave, Sports, Health, and Anything Else.
And Kirby's Shoestring Saloon.
There you go.
Dave, anytime, brother. Anytime,
Let's give Rick a shout out again for what?
Kirby's Shoestring Saloon.
Shoestring Saloon.
Yep. In Fremont. Come see us.
Fremont, California. Join me, Dave August, every week for my take on sports and life. It's going to be a hell of a ride. I'll see you there.
We will see you next time.
Be sure and tune in next week to Dave and Friends for sports and life, only on Kwin Radio.